Thank you so much, ladies. As I have been building up, it is a Motivational Mommy Monday today. So let's touch base with Heide and Jorja Jones. Jorja Jones is a 13-year-old yodeling cowgirl enthusiast whose hearing was profoundly impaired as she was born with congenital rubella. Through the necessary funding and technological medical advances, she's been able to hear still as a toddler. She is here with her mom, Heide, and they join us on the show to discuss their journey. Heide and Jorja, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, your story today just emulates everything that we love to celebrate on Afternoon Express, and that is resilience. Being able to stand up, be brave, and be triumphant. So, Heide, as Mama Bear, I just want to touch base with you about Jorja's development, her early development, and of course, her being diagnosed with congenital rubella.
Yeah, look, it was a shock for us initially because any mom, dad, wanting to welcome their baby girl into the world. And then later you find out that, you know, your baby's been tested with congenital rubella. And you're like, what is that? So your kid could either be born deaf, blind, or neurologically there could be issues. So at that stage, you don't know only 6 months later. But we had such a good support from the hospital staff, from Coddle the Toy. They helped us along with our journey, exactly where we should start, where we should go to from A to B to Z. So we had all the support that we could get.
Now, for someone like me who's not familiar with any medical terms such as these, I mean, it seems like such a huge word.
Yeah.
So how much more something to actually live every day? How did that look like for you in the Jones household? And how did you come to terms with understanding what your daughter had?
Look, when we got home, there was an initial between my hubby and I. He did his own testing on his side to test whether, you know, could she hear, could she see? And I did testing my side, and I went through the denial phase of, you know, I need to take her to get her checked from an audiologist. And at month 3, he said to me, Heidi, we need to get her checked, because we didn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
And from there, everything was just lie down on the table. This is what we need to do. This is where we need to start.
Yeah.
And as I say, from a support from the entire family and everyone at school, it was awesome.
Now, going from that very scary moment, finding out all about Jorja and her condition, you and your husband had to raise funds and get things going, essentially, to help her hear again, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
How did you go about doing that? It seems like such an incredibly difficult task.
Look, it was initially because you don't know who to ask. You don't know where to start appealing. So, like once again, I say the Coddle the Toy family, they were amazing in supporting us. We reached out to schools, we reached out to our offices, we reached out to family and friends. We had pool parties, we had karaoke's. It was loads of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an awesome, awesome journey as well.
I love the fact that, you know, and Jorja, I'm sure when you look up at mommy and daddy, you just look up with such awe and say, those are my parents. They took something that could have been almost devastating, but they turned it into a fun fundraising event, making sure that you are able to hear. Now, from your development, how have you found living with congenital rubella?
Well, I see myself as a normal child, like I hear pretty much the same as everyone else. Like, I'm just as nice as everyone else. I'm a normal kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's...
I love the fact that you're just saying, I'm a normal kid, South Africa. You know, I don't see the hype in all of this. We are kicking off and springboarding Teen Suicide Prevention Week. Now, we're talking mental health and how it is, you know, being able to navigate that space as a young developmenting pre-adult, I suppose. Now, today is your first high school day, and now you're moving into this brand new world. How have you found it so far? And what are you thinking for yourself? Are you afraid of maybe bullies or being treated any type of way?
No, not really, because I surround myself with, like, nice people.
Yeah.
Like, who don't say mean things. They are basically the most kindest person you could ever meet in the whole entire world.
Yeah. I think that's so special. It's all about surrounding yourself with a good support system. Now, I've got a very touching moment that I just want to look over. The moment that Jorja was able to hear for the first time. I think that this is something that can translate and resonate with so many South Africans. So let's have a moment and let's have a look back.
Hey. Just keep on talking. Yeah. Say, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake. Knock, knock, knock. Yes, that is a clear one. Is it? Yes, I can hear that. What is that? Knock, knock, knock. You're surprised that the screw that's locking. Shake, shake.
Goosebumps. I mean, Georgia, I see you there playing with your toy and then you're recognizing the sound. You start reacting. I mean, Mom, for you seeing that within your daughter, how did that feel?
It was like, wow, because she's always, well, before she could hear, very serious. You'd never get any expression from her. And that day, to witness that she actually heard something, that was amazing.
Wow.
It really was.
And now, girlfriend, you are a yodeling cowgirl. First and foremost, I mean, this is such an interesting fascination. Where did it start and where do you want to see your career going?
So one day I was sitting on the couch just watching normal YouTube videos. I don't know what happened to the iPad. It just glitched. I'm like, what happened? And then this remix thing came up of the Walmart yodeling kid named Mason Ramsey. I'm like, wait, who the heck is Mason Ramsey? So I looked everywhere and then I saw him on a YouTube channel called Inside Edition.
Okay.
So I found his name. I'm like, okay, where do I find this kid's name? So I
You're
typed his
obsessed
name.
with him.
I found his name and I'm like, okay, let me hear his music. So I found his music. It's like, oh my gosh, this kid is amazing. And yeah, I see myself, I want to be on the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, wow. Now, Mom, that is something that's very foreign to us.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in South Africa, we're not really experiencing this on a daily basis. So, you know, towards the end of the show, I also want to get my yodel on. So, Georgia, you're going to be teaching me how to yodel. Hopefully, I can be as good as you and Mason. And, of course, Mommy, we've got you throughout the show. Thank you so much for being so motivational
you.
on this Mommy Monday. We really appreciate it. And kudos to you, girl. Follow your dreams regardless. Now, Mzansi, on social media, we're just keeping this conversation going. So let us know your thoughts on all things Heide Jones. Now, her story is one indeed of success and, of course, a miracle happening. So let's keep engaging with her. And again, on social media, it was Valentine's Day yesterday. And indeed, we loved to see everyone spreading the love and support. So I want to find out from you, did anyone surprise you in a special way? We'd love to hear from you using our social media hashtag Afternoon Express. But coming up, we touch base with Siba in the kitchen.